Okay, let's think about this for a second. A disaster strikes, a big one, and 911 is completely overwhelmed. What happens then? Who shows up to help before the pros can get there? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, a program called CERT, which stands for Community Emergency Response Team. It's a really fantastic idea, so let's get right to it. Now, all the info we're pulling from today comes from this fantastic, in-depth report by a group called Virtualization Options LLC. They're a tech research and education firm based out in Colorado, and they've put together this amazing resource on how CERT works from the inside out. So we're going to be breaking down their key findings for you. So just imagine it for a second. A massive earthquake hits, or a hurricane, maybe a wildfire is raging. The phone lines are totally dead, roads are completely blocked, and every single first responder is stretched to the absolute breaking point. The question is, in those first few critical hours, who's there to help? Well, the answer is usually right next door. Seriously. In those chaotic first moments, the real first responders are the people who are already there. It's you, it's your family, it's your neighbors. You all become the first line of defense. And that is exactly where CERT comes into play. It's a national program built for that exact scenario. The whole idea is to take those everyday people, regular residents, and give them the actual training and skills they need to step up and help their community when the pros are still on their way. Okay, so what is CERT really? Where did this whole idea even come from? Because something this big and this important doesn't just pop up overnight. To really get it, we need to go back and look at its origins. So this concept of neighbors helping neighbors in a disaster, it's not brand new. The real inspiration came back in the 80s after the Mexico City earthquake. People saw neighbors just spontaneously organizing to pull each other out of the rubble. Then in the 90s, California made it more official after dealing with riots and the huge Northridge earthquake. But the real turning point, that was after 9/11. That's when CERT went from a local idea to a nationwide program, seen as a critical piece of our national preparedness. The way CERT is structured is actually pretty brilliant. It's kind of a two-level system. On one hand, it's super local. You've got these community chapters that train for the exact dangers in their own backyard, whether that's hurricanes, tornadoes, or wildfires. But on the other hand, it's nationally coordinated. FEMA provides all the training guidelines and materials. So you get this consistent, high-quality training no matter where you are. It's really the best of both worlds. All right, so that's the how. But what about the why? What's the real mission here? What makes this program so absolutely essential for a community? It all boils down to three main things. First, it's about making a community more self-reliant, so people can take care of themselves for a little while. Second, and this is huge, it supports the pros. It frees up firefighters and paramedics to handle the absolute worst of the worst emergencies. And third, it just plain makes the community safer by giving people real, life-saving skills. It's a win-win-win. So, what does it actually take to become a CERT volunteer? Let's talk about the training. And you might be thinking this is some massive months-long commitment, right? But nope. The basic training is usually just 20 to 24 hours. That's it. It's often spread out over a few weeks, so it's totally doable even if you have a crazy busy life. The whole point is to make it accessible for everyone. The curriculum itself is really smart. First, you start with preparedness, learning what the biggest risks are right where you live. Then you get into the hands-on response stuff like search and rescue and medical care. But finally, and this might be the most important part, you learn about teamwork and communication, because a bunch of people running around without a plan can actually make things worse. Learning to work as a team is everything. And we're not talking about boring textbook stuff here. This is all practical, hands-on training. We're talking about things like disaster medical operations, light search and rescue, fire safety and how to actually use a fire extinguisher, and how to communicate effectively when everything's gone haywire. These are the core skills that let you make a real difference. Okay, so you've done the training, you've got the skills, then one day it happens. The disaster hits. What now? How does a CERT team actually swing into action? The number one rule of CERT is simple. Take care of yourself first. You can't help anyone if you become a victim yourself. So the first thing members are trained to do is secure their own home and family. That means checking for hazards, shutting off utilities if you need to, and making sure your own loved ones are safe before you go out to help the community. Then, once they link up with their team, the real work begins. They start doing light search and rescue in their neighborhood. They're assessing damage and reporting it back to the professionals. They're setting up triage areas to provide first aid. And they're also providing what's called psychological first aid, which is just so crucial. It's about helping people stay calm and feel supported in an incredibly stressful situation. Now, this is a really important point to make. CERT volunteers are not trying to be firefighters or paramedics. They're what emergency managers call a force multiplier. Think of them as extenders for the pros. They work with the official responders, providing that crucial support on the ground, which lets the professionals focus on the most critical, life-threatening calls. So this all sounds great on paper, right? But does it actually work? Let's look at some real-world examples. Oh yeah, the report we're drawing from has some powerful stories. Take Hurricane Katrina, for example. The CERT teams in New Orleans were absolutely vital. They were out there doing search and rescue, giving first aid, and helping clear debris, all before the major federal help could even get into the city. They were a lifeline. And it's not just hurricanes. Think about the wildfires out in California. CERT teams there play a huge role in evacuations, especially helping people who might need extra assistance, like seniors or folks with disabilities. That frees up the firefighters to focus on, well, fighting the fire. So when you add it all up, the impact is pretty amazing. You have citizens who are empowered to take an active role in their own safety. You have a massive weight lifted off the shoulders of professional responders, and because these are local folks, they stick around and help their neighborhoods recover and rebuild long after the emergency is over. So that really just leaves one final question for you to think about. Look around your own neighborhood, your own street. If something big happened tomorrow, how prepared are you all, really?